Good morning, friends. Now, in today's class, we are going to start a new chapter called as matrices. Here, before starting up the chapter, or before going up to the numericals, we need to go for various definitions. पहले हम we need to define what do you mean by matrix. Arrangement of real or complex numbers. Arrangements of real or complex numbers. Arrangement of real or complex numbers in rows and columns. In rows and columns is known as a matrix. Is known as a matrix. I am repeating once again, beta. Arrangement of real or complex numbers in rows and columns is known as a matrix. Here, if you could observe carefully, we are seeing a new word called as row and another new word called as column. What do you mean by row means horizontal lines are called as rows, and what do you mean by column means vertical lines are called as columns. I am repeating, horizontal lines are known as rows and vertical lines are known as columns. A matrix is generally represented by a square bracket, and the numbers put together in the square bracket is known as a matrix. How we will be arranging means, rows I said, for example, I will be taking elements as A1, A2, A3, A4. If you could observe carefully, all these elements are in rows. So this one we call it as a row. That means elements are in horizontal lines. So this one we call it as a row. And later here I will write as B1, B2, B3, B4, and next C1, C2, C3, C4. If you could observe carefully, this is a horizontal line, this is a horizontal line, this is a horizontal line. That means elements are arranged in horizontal lines. So this one I call it as row. This also I call it as row. This also I call it as row. Now if you could observe carefully, again we can find some elements being arranged in a vertical manner, like this, in a vertical manner, in a vertical manner. So elements are being arranged in vertical lines. So these all lines we call as columns. All these lines we call it as columns. All these lines we call it as columns. So final conclusion, what can I arrive? Arrangement of real or complex numbers in rows and columns we call it as a matrix, and horizontal lines are called as rows and vertical lines are called as columns. Now we shall be seeing what do you mean by an order of a matrix. What do you mean by an order of a matrix? If suppose, example I will be telling, I take a matrix like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many rows are present? This is first row, this is second row, this is third row. And how many columns are present? This is first column, this is second column, this is third column. So in this matrix, if you could observe carefully, there are 3 rows and there are 3 columns. So matrix is generally represented by its order. That means 3 by 3. So how can we define as an order means? How can I define an order means? Number of rows and columns present in the matrix is known as order of a matrix. Order of a matrix, or in a pure language we can call number of elements present in the matrix is known as an order of a matrix. So indirectly I can tell number of rows and columns present in the matrix is known as an order of a matrix. So here there are 3 rows and there are 3 columns, so its order is generally represented by 3 by 3. Another example also I will be telling. If suppose I will be deleting the last row. If I delete the last row, what happens? If you could observe carefully, this is one row, this is one row. So total how many rows are there? 2 rows are there. If you could observe carefully, this is a column, this is a column, and this is a column. So how many columns are there? 3 columns are there. Therefore, order of a matrix is represented as 2 cross 3. But we will read it as 2 by 3. Never read as 2 into 3 beta. It's a customary to read order of a matrix as n by n or n by m or m by n. We should never read this as into n or n into m or m into n. It is a customary to read this as n by n. So finally I am telling, what do you mean by an order of a matrix? Means number of rows and the number of columns present in the matrix is known as order of a matrix. So we finished the definition of a matrix, we finished the order of a matrix. Now here, if you could observe carefully in the above 2 examples, I had written a matrix like this: 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and here I said 2 by 3. And another matrix also I had written like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you could observe carefully, here I said order of a matrix is 3 by 3. Now in both the matrices, here order is 2 by 3 and here order is 3 by 3. That means here row is not equal to column, here row equal to column. So what can I conclude means, whenever rows are equal to columns, that means rows equal to columns, we can call this kind of matrix as square matrix. We call this kind of matrix as square matrix. Whenever rows are not equal to columns, this kind of matrix we call as rectangular matrix. This kind of matrix we call it as rectangular matrix. So example I will be telling, square matrices indication will be given as, square matrix is generally denoted as, that means order of a square matrix is generally denoted as what? M by M, N by N, P by P, Q by Q, etc. That means both row and column should be equal, Now rectangular matrix denotation means how it will be there? Rectangular matrix denotation means how it will be there? It will be like this: M by N. That means here M is not equal to N, and here N by P, P by Q, etc. Right? I think now you followed the definition of a square matrix and a rectangular matrix. Finally, what I will be concluding, a matrix is said to be a square matrix if both rows and columns are equal. A matrix is said to be a rectangular matrix if both columns and rows are not equal. Now, we shall be seeing another important definition called as trace of a matrix. Before teaching the trace of a matrix, I would like to tell a small concept. Matrices are generally denoted by capital letters, right? Matrices are generally denoted by capital letters like capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. So I go by an example. Later I will give the definition. I consider a matrix capital A whose elements are 1, 2, 3. I am considering only square matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This particular loop, we call it as principal diagonal. principal diagonal. This particular loop we call it as a principal diagonal. How can I define trace of a matrix? How can I define trace of a matrix? If you add all the elements of the principal diagonal, if you add all the elements of a principal diagonal, that means 1 plus 5 plus 9, that means 15. This particular 15 we call it as trace of a matrix. So how can I define trace of a matrix? Sum of all the elements of a principal diagonal of a square matrix is known as a trace of a matrix. Once again I am repeating. What do you mean by trace of a matrix? Means sum of all the elements of principal diagonal of a square matrix is known as a trace of a matrix. So trace of a matrix also finished. Now we are going to see an important definition called as a diagonal matrix. So I will be considering the same matrix, that means a square matrix. What do you mean by diagonal matrix? Means if you put all these elements as zeros, if you put all these elements as zeros, that means a square matrix is said to be a diagonal matrix. Only there should be diagonal elements, remaining all elements should be zeros. See how beautifully we are getting. Another example of a diagonal matrix means I can write like this: 1 0 0 0 8 0 0 0 9. That means there should be only diagonal elements and remaining elements should be equal to zeros. So diagonal matrix had been finished. Now what do you mean by scalar matrix? What do you mean by a scalar matrix? Scalar matrix is also a diagonal matrix where all the elements of principal diagonal are equal. Where all the elements of a principal diagonal are equal. That means if all the elements of this principal diagonal are equal, then we can call that matrix as a scalar matrix. Observe carefully here, trace of a matrix, diagonal of a matrix, scalar matrix defining के लिए सब matrices हमको square matrices ही होना चाहिए. Next, what do you mean by an unit matrix? Unit matrix means unit matrix is generally denoted by capital A, and if I take like this 0 1 0 0 0 1, that means all principal diagonal elements of a matrix should be equal to 1. If all the principal diagonal elements of a matrix is equal to 1, then that matrix we call it as an unit matrix, right? These are the basic things in basic definitions in the chapter matrices. Now we shall be going to our numericals, right? Right friends? Now we are going to see another two important concepts known as addition of matrices and equality of matrices. Right, two matrices, capital A and capital B, two matrices capital A and capital B, anything you can denote by anything, are said to be conformable for addition if order of both matrices are same. That means if you take a matrix capital A and a matrix capital B, here 2 by 2 means there also 2 by 2 should be there. Here 3 by 3 means there should be 3 by 3. Here 2 by 4 means there should also be 2 by 4. Example, I will be taking capital A as 1 2 3 4 5 6, and capital B I will be taking as some elements 9 10 11 12 13 14. Now I think what is the order of A? How many rows are there? 2. And how many columns are there? 3. Therefore order of the matrix A is 2 by 3, and order of the matrix B is what? Again 2 by 3. That means here order is same. As order is same, I can add the two matrices. Therefore I can tell two matrices are conformable for addition. And the result, how can you do the result? Means just adding the corresponding elements of both the matrices. That means what happens? what is the corresponding element in the first, what is the first element in the matrix A? 1. And what is the first element in the matrix B? 9. So in दोनों को add करना, that means 1 plus 9 will be 10. Similarly here 2 and here 10, I need to add, that means 2 plus 10 will be 12. Here 3 and here 11, that means what happens? 3 plus 11 will be 14. Here 4 and here 12, 4 plus 12 will be 16. Here 5 and here 13, 5 plus 13 will be 18. Here 6 and here 14, 6 plus 14 will be 20. Again we need to get the same order. That means two matrices are said to be conformable for addition if order of both the matrices are same, and I had given by an example. Now we shall go for another concept called as equality of matrices. What do you mean by equality of matrices? Two matrices are said to be equal if order of the matrices are same. That means if order of both the matrices are same, then we can call the two matrices are equal. So an example I will be taking, capital A is equal to 7, 8, 9 and elements should also be equal, 11, 10 and 9, and capital B is equal to some other thing they will be giving, again here 9, 10, 11, or again capital B is equal to same, I will take like this, 7, 8, 9, 11, 10, 9. So I can call both the matrices are equal. Why? Because their order is same. Now we shall start numericals based on addition of matrices and equality of matrices, right? Right, now we shall be seeing some basic problems based on definitions, equality of matrices and addition of matrices. First I will be starting problems based on addition of matrices and equality of matrices. Now I have taken two problems. Problem 1 is based on addition of matrices, problem 2 is based on equality of matrices. Now I am going for the first problem. Given A is equal to 2, 3 minus 1, 7, 8, 5. Capital B is equal to 1, 0, 1, 2 minus 4 minus 1, and I need to add A plus B. So what happens? A plus B. A plus B means we can write as 2, 3 minus 1, 7, 8, 5. B means we need to write this matrix as usual, 1, 0, 1, 2 minus 4 minus 1. And if you could observe carefully, what is the order of this matrix? It is, how many rows are there? 2 rows are there. How many columns are there? 3 columns are there. Here also what is the order of the matrix? 2 by 3. I think order of the matrix is same. As order of the matrix is same, we can tell two matrices are conformable for addition. If two matrices are conformable for addition, then what we should do? We need to add the corresponding elements. Corresponding elements means what here? Either in first matrix, what is the element here? 2. And what is the first element of the second matrix? 1. So we need to add. Later again, what happens beta? 3 plus 0. I will write little bit close. 3 plus 0. Later again what happens? Minus 1 plus 1. And here also what happens? 7 plus 2. Here also what happens? 8 minus 4. Later 5 minus 1. So here final will be 2 plus 1, or output I am writing directly. 2 plus 1 will be 3, 3, 0. Later 9, 4, 4. So when I add two matrices, I am also getting the same order. Therefore our final answer will be 3, 3, 0, 9, 4, 4. So this is the problem based on addition of matrices. You can copy. Right. Now I am going for equality of matrices. If you could observe carefully, इसका solution मैं ऊपर लिखूंगा. If you could observe carefully here, two matrices are equal. Two matrices are equal means I can tell their orders are also same and their corresponding elements should also be equal. That is a condition given to us. So I need to find the values of x comma y comma z comma a. That means two matrices are equal means, if you could observe carefully, this element should be equal to this element. And later again, this 5 minus 5 should be equal to this particular element. And later again, this particular element should be equal to this particular element. this particular element should be equal to this particular element. That is the meaning of equality of matrices. So what I will be doing? Therefore, since both matrices are equal, that implies what happens? X minus 1 is equal to 1 minus x. Next, y minus 5 equal to minus y. Later, z equal to 2. Later, 1 plus a equal to 1. So definitely what happens? X coming to this side. So 2x. 1 minus 1 going to that side. 2. So I got x is equal to 1. Here also this minus y coming to this side. 2y equal to 5. So what happens? Y equal to 5 by 2. And z is equal to 2. That is clear only. And here I think 1 1 I can cancel, or 1 going to that side means it becomes 1 minus 1. So 0. तो फिर हमको क्या आ गया? A equal to 0, z equal to 2, y equal to 5 by 2, x equal to 1. This is a problem based on equality of matrix. Please copy. Right, we shall see another very short answer questions. He is asking us in the first question, trace of A if given A is equal to 1 2 minus 1 by 2, 0 minus 1 2, minus 1 by 2, 2 1. If you could observe carefully, we shall recall once again the definition of trace of a matrix. What trace of a matrix is telling? Addition of all principal diagonal elements of a square matrix is known as a trace of a matrix. Now here, when coming to this particular problem, we need to identify what is our principal diagonal. Here I am drawing a loop, so this particular loop we call is a principal diagonal. So addition of all principal diagonal elements is nothing but trace of a matrix. And trace of a matrix is generally denoted as TR of capital A. And if I add all the principal diagonal elements, that means 1 minus 1 plus 1. So we will be getting 0. Therefore, trace of a given matrix is always 0 in this particular matrix, right? Now, when coming to the second problem, it's a typical problem. Find the additive inverse of the matrix I0 1 0 minus I2 minus 1 1 5. So before this, we need to know what do you mean by additive inverse. In your lower classes, your teachers might have said if additive inverse of 1 will be minus 1, because when I add both, I need to get the result as 0. If I take an element A, what will be its additive inverse means minus A, because when I add both the elements, I need to get the answer as 0. Similarly, we need to find additive inverse of the elements of this matrix. So what is our matrix? Let the matrix I denote as capital A, given matrix. It will be I0 1 0 minus I 2 minus 1 1 5. So additive inverse means I will denote it as capital B. So if I denote this as capital B, I need to write additive inverse of each and every element of the matrix. So I का additive inverse क्या हो जाता? Minus I, because इन दोनों को ऐड करने से मेरे को 0 आना. And for this 0 and 1 का additive inverse minus 1, and here 0, and minus I means it should become as I, because when I add minus I and I, again I need to get 0, and 2 additive inverse minus 2. Minus 1 का additive inverse will be 1, because again minus 1 plus 1 will be 0, and here 1 means additive inverse minus 1, 5 का additive inverse it will be minus 5. So additive inverse of the given matrix is obtained by replacing whatever element is there with the minus sign except to that of 0. So this is our required answer. Another problem, two matrices दिया था हमको. We need to find A minus B and 4B minus 3A. So what happens? A minus B. So A minus B means here I need to write 0 1 2 2 3 4 4 5 6 minus B. Minus B means 1 minus 2 0, 0 1 minus 1 minus 1 0 3. So I need to subtract. So subtraction means what happens? Corresponding element should get subtracted. Here 0 is there and here minus 1. So what happens? 0 minus 1, 0 minus 1, and here 1 minus of minus 2, and later 2 minus 0, 2 minus 0, and here also 2 minus 0, and here also 3 minus 1, and here also 4 minus of minus 1, and here same 4 minus of minus 1, here also 5 minus 0, here also 6 minus 3. Now directly I would like to write here only 0 minus 1 will be what beta? It will be minus 1. As you are in basic stage, I am writing elaborately. 1 minus of minus 2, minus minus becomes plus. So this value will be coming 3. And 2 minus 0 will become as 2 only. Here also 2 minus 0 will become as 2. And 3 minus 1 will become as 2. 4 minus of minus 1. 4 minus of minus 1 will become as 5. And here also 4 minus of minus 1 will become as 5. 5 minus 0 will be 5. 6 minus 3 will be 3. So this is our net result for A minus B. Now we are going for the next one. 4B minus 3A. 4B minus 3A means a matrix B is multiplied by a scalar 4. That means B should be multiplied by 4. B should be multiplied by 4 means it goes like this. 4 into 1 minus 2 0, 0 1 minus 1, minus 1 0 3, and minus 3A. Minus 3A means 3 into 0 1 2, 2 3 4, 4 5 6. Now what happens? Here only I am writing that is equal to matrix multiplied with a scalar means that scalar should get multiplied with each and every element of a matrix. That means 4 into 1 I should multiply, 4 into minus 2 I should multiply, 4 into 0, each and every element. So directly here I am writing 4 ones are 4, later minus 8, later 0, later 0, 4, later minus 4, later minus 4, later 0, later 12, and later here what happens? 3 into 0 will be 0, and here 3, and here 6, later 6, later 9, later 12, 3 4s are again 12, 3 5s are 15, 3 6s are 18. Now I need to subtract. In previous problem I showed how to subtract. Subtraction means each and every element should be getting subtracted. So here 4 I should take and here 0. 4 minus 0 will be 4 and minus 8 minus 3 will be minus 11. 0 minus 6 will be minus 6. Later 0 minus 6 will be minus 6. 4 minus 9 will be minus 5. Minus 4 minus 12 will be minus 16. And minus 4 minus 12 will be minus 16. 0 minus 15 will be minus 15. 12 minus 18 will be minus 6. So finally our net result 4B minus 3A, that implies here I am writing beta 4B minus 3A will be the 3 by 3 matrix 4 minus 11 minus 6 minus 6 minus 5 minus 16 minus 16 minus 15 minus 6. Now we are going to start a problem. Construct a 3 by 2 matrix whose elements are defined by Aij is equal to 1 by 2 modulus of I minus 3j. Here a new terminology has come. What do you mean by Aij? I will go by an example. You take a matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Here if you could observe carefully, 1 is in the place of first row and first column, that means 1 is corresponding to the element which is in the place of first row and first column. That particular element is generally denoted by A, and if I write A11, 1 refers for row and this 1 refers for column. So what happens? A11 will be equal to 1. And if I ask A12, what is the meaning? Element corresponding to the first row in the second column. Element corresponding to the first row in the second column. Element corresponding to the first row and the second column means this only, no? So A12 is equal to 2. This is the meaning, you should understand carefully. If suppose I ask A33, what is the meaning? A33 is an element corresponding to the third row and corresponding to the third column. That means element corresponding to the third row, this is our third row and this is our third column. Element corresponding to third row and third column is 9. So A33 is equal to 9. So in general, what is the meaning of Aij? What is the meaning of Aij means? Aij is an element corresponding to the ith row as well as to the jth column. Aij refers to the element corresponding to the ith row as well as the jth column. So now we shall be starting the problem. He is asking us to construct a 3 by 2 matrix. He is asking to construct 3 by 2 matrix means 3 by 2 matrix is always a rectangular matrix having 3 rows and 2 columns. Therefore, having 3 rows and 2 columns means I can write like this: 3 rows A11, A12, A21, A22, A31, A32. I think this is a 3 by 2 matrix because we are having 3 rows and we are having 2 columns. I think it is clear. So first what I will be doing, I will be finding out A11. I will be finding out A11 means I की जगह में 1 सब्स्टिट्यूट करना और J की जगह में भी 1 सब्स्टिट्यूट करना. Therefore what happens? 1 minus 3, because 3 into 1 will be 3. So what happens? 1 by 2 into modulus of 1 minus 3. So modulus of minus 2. Modulus of minus 2 is always 2 only, no? So 2 by 2 will be 1. Later I need to find A12. A12 means 1 minus 3 into 2. So again what happens? 1 minus 3 into 2. 1 minus 3 into 2 means 1 minus 6. 1 minus 6 means what happens? Minus 5. So this becomes 5 by 2. And later I need to find A21. A21 means 1 by 2 into modulus of 2 minus 3 into 1. 2 minus 3 into 1 means again we will be getting it as 1 by 2, because 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Modulus of minus 1 will be 1. 1 by 2. Later comes A22. A22 means 1 by 2 into modulus of 2 minus 3 into 2. So what happens? 2 minus 6. 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Modulus of minus 4 by 2 will be 2. And again A22 finished means I need to find A31. A31 means 1 by 2 into modulus of 3 minus 3 into 1. So this becomes 0. Now later again I need to find A32. A32 means modulus of 1 by 2 into 3 minus 3 into 2. So what happens? 1 by 2 into modulus of 3 minus 6. 3 minus 6 is what? Minus 3. So modulus of minus 3. So that becomes 3 by 2. So here finally what should I conclude? Our answer, matrix is denoted by some capital A, and here is asking 3 by 2 matrix. So 3 by 2 matrix means A11, A12, A21, A22, A31, A32. Now I need to substitute all the elements in their respective places. A11 means 1, A12 means I got as 5 by 2, A21 means 1 by 2, A22 means 2, A31 means 0, A32 means 3 by 2, and the whole matrix is a rectangular matrix which is of order 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 3 rows and 2 columns. Please copy. Right. we shall be seeing another very short answer question. Capital A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 दिया, capital B is equal to 3, 8, 7, 2, and for us 2x plus capital A is equal to B, we need to find the value of capital X. So what I'll be doing means 2x as it is I will write. A means 1, 2, 3, 4 is equal to B. B means 3, 8, 7, 2. So later what happens? That implies 2x is equal to 3, 8, 7, 2 minus of 1, 2, 3, 4. So what happens? Finally 3 minus 1 will be getting as 2, 8 minus 2 I will be getting as 6, 7 minus 3 I will be getting as 4, 2 minus 4 I will be getting as minus 2. So finally what I got means 2x is equal to 2, 6, 4 minus 2. But I want the value of x only, no? As I want the value of x, I need to divide by 2. That means x is equal to 1 by 2 of 2, 6, 4 minus 2. That means 1 by 2 is a scalar. This scalar should be multiplied with each and every element of the matrix. So 2 into 1 by 2 means I will get as 1. 6 into 1 by 2 means I will get as 3. 4 by 2 means I will get as 2. And minus 2 by 2 means I will get as minus 1. Right? Right, beta. We are going for the next concept known as product of matrices. So how can we go means two matrices capital A and capital B are said to be conformable for multiplication if number of columns in first matrix should be equal to number of rows in second matrix. Then only we can multiply two matrices. I am repeating, two matrices capital A and capital B are said to be conformable for multiplication if number of columns in the first matrix should be equal to number of rows in the second matrix. You copy the definition, we shall go for problem. Right, beta, we shall do a problem based on product of matrices. Here for us two matrices given. Capital A is equal to 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Capital B is equal to 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 2, minus 1. So what is the order of this matrix? Order of this matrix is 3 by 3. And what is the order of this matrix? It is 3 by 2. If you could observe carefully, number of columns in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in the second matrix. So we can multiply AB. Therefore, AB is equal to, we should be very, very careful, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. And here 1, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 2, minus 1. So what happens? Row wise and column wise I should multiply. So at the beginning I will be doing each and everything clearly. So first row should be multiplied with first column and later first row should be multiplied with the second column. Similarly, second row should be multiplied with first column and second row should be multiplied with second column. Third row should be multiplied with first column, third row should be multiplied with the second column. That means how it happens? Observe carefully. So 0 into 1 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 2 into 2. I think you followed. 0 into 1 plus 1 into minus 1 plus 2 into 2. Similarly, 0 into minus 2, 0 into minus 2 plus 1 into 0 plus 2 into minus 1. Similarly, here also 1 into minus 1, 1 into 1, because 1 into 1 plus 2 into minus 1 plus 3 into 2. Similarly, 1 into minus 2 plus 2 into 0 plus 3 into minus 1. Later, 2 into 1 plus 3 into minus 1 plus 4 into 2. Here also 2 into minus 2 plus 3 into 0 plus 4 into minus 1. So what happens? That is equal to 0 into 1 0, minus 1 plus 4, minus 1 plus 4 will be 3, and here also 0 0, and this will be minus 2, and here 1 minus 2, 1 minus, sorry, here I will write 1 plus 6 7, 7 minus 2 will be 5, and similarly minus 2 minus 3, minus 2 minus 3 will be minus 5. Later 2 plus 8 10, 10 minus 3 will be 7. Similarly minus 4 will be minus 8. So finally what I got? I got a matrix of the order 3 by 2. So this is the value of AB. This is the answer. Now we shall go for BA. We shall check whether BA is possible or not. BA means what? We need to take first matrix B, later matrix A. So here if you could observe carefully, B means, I will write like this, 1 minus 2 minus 1 0, 2 minus 1, iska order 3 by 2, and later 0 1 2, 1 2 3, 2 3 4, iska order 3 by 3. So for conformable of matrix multiplication, number of columns of first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second matrix. But here columns are 2 and rows are 3. Therefore, matrix multiplication is not possible. Therefore, matrix multiplication of BA is not possible. Only AB is possible. It is a very, very important question asked in one of our CBSE previous papers. Right? Please copy. Right friends, up till now we have seen problems based on multiplication of two matrices. When is possible for multiplication of two matrices means, the definition I had said like this: two matrices are conformable for multiplication if number of columns in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in the second matrix. Sometimes in our CBSE paper, a 4-mark question will be asked like this. This kind of problems are known as problems based on matrix polynomials. A capital A will be given one matrix and we need to show that this particular thing is equal to this particular thing. Here sometimes you might be coming across a new kind of polynomial. In that polynomial, if you take this term, it is a square. A square means what is the meaning? A dot A. If suppose a cube is coming means we can write it as a square into a. A power 4 means we should write as a cube into a. A power 5 means we should write as a power 4 into a. Dot dot dot. If suppose a power k plus 1 means we should write as a power k into k. All these are integral powers of a matrix. Now we shall try to solve this particular thing. That means we need to show LHS is equal to RHS. So here I will be taking a square. A square means what I said? A into A. So A dot A. So A dot A means 1 2 2, 2 1 2, 2 2 1, and here also 1 2 2, 2 1 2, 2 2 1. So we need to multiply. That means first row should be multiplied with first column. Again first row should be multiplied with the second column. Again first row should be multiplied with third column. So what happens? 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2 plus 2 into 2. That means later again, I think by this time you are very clear in this matrix multiplication. So I will be writing directly the values. 1 into 1 is 1, 1 plus 4 5, and 5 plus 4 is 9. And similarly here also 1 into 2 2, 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. Again 2 plus 4 plus 2, 2 plus 4 plus 2, that means again it comes as 8. Later again 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 4 8. Again 4 plus 1 5 plus 4 9. Again 4 plus 2 6 plus 2 8. Again 2 plus 4 6 plus 2 8. Again 2 2s are 4 plus 2 6 plus 2 8. Again 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 4 8, 8 plus 1 9. We got value of a square as 988 898 889. Later this we have found out. Now we are trying to find 4a. 4a, that means the matrix A should be multiplied by a scalar 4. Matrix A being multiplied by a scalar 4 means each and every element of the matrix should get multiplied by 4. That means 1 2 2, 2 1 2, 2 2 1. So finally what happens? 4, 4 into 1 4, 8, 8, 8, 4, 8, 8, 8 and 4. Now again later 5i is telling. 5i means what is the meaning? I means here 3 by 3 matrix. That particular 3 by 3 matrix should be multiplied with 5. That means I means here identity matrix, no? So 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So finally we will be getting output as 5 0 0 0 5 0 0 0 5. After this I will be taking our LHS. So what is our LHS? A square minus 4a minus 5i. So here I will be writing what is our a square? 988 898 889 minus 4a. 4a means 488, later 848, later 884, and the last one 500 050 005. Let us check whether RHS will become 0 or not. I think 9 minus 4 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. I am very happy here. 8 minus 8 is 0, 0 minus 0 0, and here also 0. So 0, 9 minus 4 5, 5 minus 5 0, 8 minus 8 0, 0 minus 0 0, and here also 0, here also 0, and here also 0. So this is nothing but our RHS. Therefore LHS is equal to RHS. Please copy. Right. Now we shall see for a long answer question. If capital A is equal to cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta, show that a power n is equal to cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta cos n theta for all positive integers n. Whenever this kind of problem is given to us, we need to prove the problem by mathematical induction, which we studied in our 11th class. What mathematical induction is telling? Assume the given statement as S of n. Assume the given statement as S of n. In step 1, we need to prove the result for n is equal to 1. After proving the statement for n is equal to 1, we need to assume the result is true for n equal to k. After assuming the result is true for n equal to k, we need to prove the statement is also true for n equal to k plus 1. Therefore, we conclude by mathematical induction the result is true for all natural numbers, small n belongs to capital N. So I think by this time you might be clear with the mathematical induction as you have studied in your 11th class. So I prove this result using by mathematical induction. Now what I will be doing means, let S of n be the required statement. That is, what is our statement means? A power n is equal to cos n theta sin n theta minus sin n theta and cos n theta. Now later what I will be doing? To prove the result is true for n equal to k. N equal to 1. N equal to 1. Therefore, if I call this as 1, now therefore put n equal to 1 in 1. That means what happens? Therefore, a की power 1 means n की जगह में 1 substitute करें तो a power 1 is a, and here also n की place में 1 substitute करें तो हमको क्या आ जाता? cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. Therefore, we got our result. Hence, the result is true. Hence, the result is true for n equal to 1. Now, what I will be doing? Assume the result is true for n equal to k. So therefore what I will be doing? Therefore a power k is equal to what happens? Cos k theta sin k theta minus sin k theta cos k theta. I'll be calling this as number 2. Later what I'll be doing means, to prove, now we are going for step number 3, and I call this as step number 1, I call this as step number 2. In step number 3, to prove result is true for n equal to k plus 1. Therefore, I will consider 2. For this, I will consider 2. That is, a power k is equal to cos k theta sin k theta minus sin k theta cos k theta. Therefore, I will multiply both sides by a. That means a power k into a. So cos k theta sin k theta minus sin k theta cos k theta into a. A means cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. So as usual, matrix multiplication. So what happens? Cos k theta plus, minus हो जाता because sin k theta cos k theta cos theta minus sin k theta sin theta, and here also cos k theta sin theta plus sin k theta cos theta, and similarly minus sin k theta cos theta minus sin theta cos k theta. Here also minus sin k theta minus sin k theta sin theta plus cos k theta cos theta. If you could observe carefully, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. That means we get as cos of A plus B into theta. Here also sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. It is looking like sin of k plus 1 into theta. Here also, if I take minus common, it is looking like sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So, minus sin of k plus 1 into theta. Here also, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So, it is looking like cos of A plus B into theta. So, cos of k plus 1 into theta. Now, we proved for n is equal to 1, we assumed for n is equal to k, and we have proved the result for n equal to k plus 1. That means finally what I will be doing means a power k into a means a power k plus 1. So what happens here, I am writing final output, here I am writing a power k into a means I can write as a power k plus 1, and the whole thing is nothing but cos of k plus 1 into theta, cos of k plus 1 into theta, sin of k plus 1 into theta, minus sin of k plus 1 into theta, cos of k plus 1 into theta, where k plus 1 is equal to n. That means we proved for n equal to 1, assumed n is equal to k, and we have proved the result for n equal to k plus 1. Therefore, finally I will be writing, hence by mathematical induction the result is true for all positive integers n. It's a very important problem, and it is for essay type question. Please copy. Right, we shall be seeing another problem based on the pattern multiplication of matrices only. So here for us given I is equal to 1 0 0 1 and E is equal to 0 1 0 0. Now what I will be doing means AI plus BE, left hand side I will be taking AI plus BE. We should observe carefully, here cube is there. So first of all we will be finding AI plus BE. A means 1 0 0 1 and BE means what happens, B into 0 1 0 0. So finally what I will be getting, A0 0A plus B into 0 will be 0, B 0 0. So what happens, you need to add A plus 0 will be A, 0 plus B will be B, 0 plus 0 0 and A plus 0 will be A. This is what AI plus BE. Now later what I will be doing means I will be finding out AI plus BE whole square. AI plus BE whole square means AB 0A into AB 0A. So what happens finally, A into A will be A square. So here I am writing A square, A into B plus B into A, that means it becomes as 2AB, 0 into A plus A into 0 will become 0, 0 into B plus A into A will become A square. Later what happens? I need to find AI plus BE whole cube. AI plus BE whole cube means whatever result we got, that result should be multiplied by AB 0A. So what happens? A square 2AB 0 A square, and here also what happens? What is that particular thing? AB and 0A. Now what happens? We shall see again matrix multiplication only. A square into A will be A cube, and later A square into B, A square B. Here I am doing in rough. This will be A square B plus 2AB into A. That means it becomes 2A square B. So finally we get as 3A square B. So I am erasing here. Similarly 0 into A will be 0 plus A square into 0 will be 0. 0 into B 0, and here there remains A cube. Now I call this as 1. Now later this we have calculated LHS. Now what I will be doing means I will be taking RHS A cube I plus 3A square B into E. A cube I means what happens? This is I. So A cube 0, 0, A cube plus 3A square B into E. That means 0. This becomes 3A square B. This becomes 0 and this becomes 0. So what happens? A cube plus 0, A cube, 0 plus 3A square B, 3A square B, 0, and this becomes A cube. If you could observe carefully the equation 1, the resulting equation 1 is A cube, 3A square B, 0, A cube. So this I will call 2. So therefore from 1 and 2, LHS will be equal to RHS. Please copy. Right friends, now we shall be starting a new concepts in the matrices, some definitions. Transpose of a matrix, symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. What do you mean by transpose of a matrix? If suppose I go by an example, capital A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the order of the matrix? 3 by 2. What do you mean by its transpose means? Rows should be changed into columns and columns should be changed into rows. That means interchange of rows and columns of a given matrix is known as a transpose of a matrix. And transpose of a matrix is always denoted by A power T, or I read it as A transpose. In some textbooks they write as A dash. And for the given matrix, what will be the result? I said rows should be changed into columns and columns should be changed into rows. That means here if you could observe carefully, what is the first row? 1, 2. That should be changed as column, means it becomes 1, 2. And here 3, 4. 3, 4 means I can write in the column pattern like this. And 5, 6 in column pattern I can write like this. That means now order will be changed. That means 3 by 2 means we got as 2 by 3. So what conclusion I can make? If a matrix is of order, m by n, then transpose of a matrix will become as of order n by m, and here aij will become as aji. So what can I tell? In a simple words, what do you mean by transpose of a matrix? Means interchange of rows into columns and columns into rows is known as transpose of a matrix. So I think you are clear with the transpose of a matrix definition. Now I am going for a definition called symmetric matrix. What do you mean by symmetric matrix? Means a matrix is said to be symmetric if A transpose is equal to A. That means when you interchange rows into columns and columns into rows also, if we get the same matrix, then that matrix we call it as a symmetric matrix. I go by an example of a symmetric matrix. If suppose I take a matrix called capital A like this. Right? AHG, HBF, GFC. So I want to find A transpose. If I find A transpose, what happens? This first column should change into row, and the second column also should change to row, and the third column should also change to row. I think no change in the matrix. AHG, HBF, GFC. Therefore, I can tell A transpose is equal to A, and this kind of matrix we call it as symmetric matrix. I think it is clear. Next, we are going for another one. What do you mean by skew symmetric matrix? A matrix capital A is said to be a skew symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to minus A. This we shall go by a problem as an example also. Remember, what do you mean by skew symmetric matrix means? A matrix or a square matrix is said to be a skew symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to minus A. Right? Now we shall be seeing some problems based on the skew symmetric matrix, symmetric matrices. Right? Now, this kind of questions they will be asking in competitive exams, and in our CBSE they will be asking for very short answer questions. If A is equal to 0, 4, minus 2, minus 4, 0, 8, 2, minus 8x is a skew symmetric matrix, find the value of x is asking. So, skew symmetric matrix, so what I will be doing means, given capital A is skew symmetric matrix, Skew symmetric matrix means according to the definition we should have A transpose is equal to minus A. A transpose means what can we tell? Interchange of rows into columns and columns into rows. So what happens here? This becomes A transpose means 0, minus 4, 2, 0, minus 4, 2, and here this becomes as 4, 0, minus 8, that becomes as minus 2, 8x equal to minus A. Minus A means minus should be multiplied with the whole thing. 0, minus 4, 2, and this becomes 4, this becomes 0, this becomes minus 8, and this becomes minus 2, this becomes 8, and this becomes minus x. Now I think two matrices are equal. If two matrices are equal, their corresponding elements should also get equal, and their order should also be same. And this is a 3 by 3, this is a 3 by 3. Order is same and elements should become equal. So what can I tell? 0 equal to 0, minus 4 equal to minus 4, 2 equal to 2, 4 equal to 4, 0 equal to 0, minus 8 equal to minus 8, minus 2 equal to minus 2, 8 equal to 8, and here x equal to minus x. As x equal to minus x means minus x coming to this side means I can make x plus x, that means 2x equal to 0. 2x is equal to 0 means x का value भी 0 हो जाएगा. So final answer will be x equal to 0. I think you people followed. Right. Now if I go for the next problem, if A is equal to cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, I need to show A transpose A is equal to A into A transpose is equal to I. I means here identity matrix, and we should get answer as 2 by 2 because the matrix is also given of order 2 by 2. So what I will be doing, solution here I am writing, given capital A is equal to cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha, and here A transpose. A transpose means I can make this column into row and that column into row. So what happens? Cos alpha minus sin alpha and here sin alpha, and here cos alpha. Therefore, A transpose into A, I shall check. A transpose means cos alpha minus sin alpha, and sin alpha cos alpha into A. A means what happens here? Cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha and cos alpha. Again, row by column multiplication, that means matrix multiplication here. We shall see cos alpha into cos alpha, cos square alpha, and here minus minus becomes plus, so we will get as sin square alpha. Similarly, cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. Here also sin alpha cos alpha minus cos alpha sin alpha, and here also sin square alpha plus cos square alpha. I think I can erase this problem, and there I will be writing this particular solution. Cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is 1, this becomes 0, this becomes 0, and this becomes 0. So finally what I will be getting means A transpose into A. A transpose into A is equal to 1 0 0 1. So this is also equal to I. But I had shown this particular A transpose into A is equal to I, and I need to show this also equal to I. So for this I will be calculating A into A transpose. Now A into A transpose. So what happens? What is our A? Cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha into A transpose. A transpose to cos alpha minus sin alpha and sin alpha cos alpha. So what happens? Matrix multiplication as usual. It is possible because it is a 2 by 2 matrix for us. So cos alpha into cos alpha, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha. Cos alpha into minus sin alpha. This is minus cos alpha sin alpha plus sin alpha cos alpha, and here also minus sin alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha plus cos alpha sin alpha, and here sin square alpha plus cos square alpha. So what happens? इसका value 1, इसका value 0, इसका value 0, इसका value 1. Therefore we got A into A transpose is equal to 1 0 0 1, and the whole thing is also equal to I. So if I call this as 2 and this as 1, therefore from 1 and 2, A transpose is equal to A is equal to A into A transpose is equal to I. These two are very, very important problems, you should remember. But one thing, here we can give an excellent definition. What is the definition means? Here I am writing orthogonal matrix. Orthogonal matrix. We got an example also luckily here. A matrix capital A is said to be an orthogonal matrix if A transpose into A is equal to A into A transpose is equal to I. A matrix capital A is said to be an orthogonal matrix if A transpose into A is equal to A into A transpose is equal to I. And the best example for an orthogonal matrix is capital A is equal to cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. Right? Please copy. Right? Before finishing up the chapter matrices, there are two theorems left for us which are very, very important. So the very first theorem is, it goes like this: if capital A is a square matrix, then we need to show A into A transpose is a symmetric matrix. So just now I said, what do you mean by a symmetric matrix? A square matrix capital A is said to be a symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to A. So what I will be doing means, consider, or before that I will go like this, proof you should be writing very carefully beta. Given A is a square matrix and we need to show A transpose is a symmetric matrix. So what I will be doing means, given A is a square matrix, later what I will be doing, consider A transpose whole transpose. So then what happens, A transpose whole transpose is equal to A transpose whole transpose into A transpose. Now how I got this means, I will be mentioning a reason. AB whole transpose is always equal to B transpose A transpose. Earlier we discussed all these things. And A transpose whole transpose means A only. So this becomes like this only. So A transpose. And here also we need to mention the reason carefully. What is that property? A transpose whole transpose is always equal to A. So finally what we got, if I took A transpose whole transpose, I got this particular result only. That means A into A transpose. So what happens, what conclusion I can give? A transpose is symmetric matrix. Is symmetric matrix. Copy. Right? The last theorem in the matrices, we need to show every square matrix can be uniquely expressed as a sum of symmetric and a skew symmetric matrix. Just now I said, what do you mean by symmetric matrix? A square matrix capital A is said to be a symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to A, and a square matrix capital A is said to be a skew symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to minus A. So what I will be doing means, let capital A be a square matrix. Let capital A be a square matrix, and this square matrix should be expressed as a sum of symmetric and skew symmetric matrix in a unique manner. So for this what I will be doing means, let capital B is equal to, I take as 1 by 2 of A plus A transpose, and capital C I take as 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. Now I will be proving capital B as symmetric matrix and capital C as a skew symmetric matrix. So what happens, now what I will be doing to prove capital B is symmetric, I will be proving capital B is symmetric. So later what I will be doing means, I will be finding out B transpose, finally I should get B only. So 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose whole transpose. So 1 by 2 into, this is A transpose and A transpose whole transpose. So 1 by 2 into A transpose plus A. So 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose, that is equal to B. So what happens, I got B transpose is equal to B. That means this is a symmetric matrix. That implies, what can I tell? B is symmetric. B is symmetric. Later again what I will be doing to prove capital C is skew symmetric. Capital C is skew symmetric. For this what I will be doing? I will be finding out C transpose. C transpose means 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose whole transpose. So what happens? 1 by 2 into A transpose minus A transpose whole transpose. So 1 by 2 into A transpose minus A. If I take minus common, minus 1 by 2 into, I get A minus A transpose. So what happens? This is minus C. So C transpose is equal to minus C. So what can I conclude? C is skew symmetric. Now later what I will be doing means, consider B plus C. But what is B for us? 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose plus 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose. That means A by 2 plus A transpose by 2 plus A by 2 minus A transpose by 2. Both will be getting cancelled. So A by 2 plus A by 2. So that is A. That implies I can tell B plus C is equal to A. That implies A equal to B plus C. A is our square matrix. B is our symmetric matrix. C is skew symmetric matrix. That means capital A is equal to B plus C. That means I can tell every square matrix has been expressed in terms of a symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. But now we got square matrix has been expressed in terms of symmetric and skew symmetric. But we need to show its uniqueness. Uniqueness means only in a single way we can write like that we should show. Please copy. We shall go for the next part. Now we are going to prove uniqueness. Suppose capital A is equal to P plus Q, where P is symmetric and Q is skew symmetric matrices. Now we need to prove uniqueness. That means I am assuming A is equal to P plus Q, but earlier I assumed A is equal to B plus C. Finally, I need to prove P plus Q is equal to B plus C is equal to A. Now in the same theorem we need to prove uniqueness. Earlier we assumed A is equal to B plus C, where B is symmetric and Q is skew symmetric. I need to show uniqueness. So I am assuming A is equal to P plus Q, where P is symmetric and Q is skew symmetric. So what happens? I will be making transpose on both the sides. So what happens? I will be getting P plus Q whole transpose. This is P beta. So what happens? A transpose is equal to P transpose plus Q transpose. So what happens? A transpose is equal to P is symmetric, so this becomes Q, and Q, this will be minus Q, where P is nothing but 1 by 2 into A plus A transpose, that is nothing but B only, and here Q is nothing but 1 by 2 into A minus A transpose, that is equal to C. Therefore what can I tell? A is equal to P plus Q, and here it is becoming as B plus C. Therefore final conclusion, what can I tell? Every square matrix can be uniquely expressed as symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. I showed uniqueness also. Skew symmetric, right? Hence the chapter gets end, and from tomorrow we will be starting a new course known as determinant.